Hello everyone, good afternoon. My name is Rohtash and I'm here with my team. Together, we are representing Taza. So I hope after lunch energies are filled and you're ready for the session. Because what we're going to discuss, it's not just crucial, it's also fantastic. We're talking about unlocking global reach using internationalization in Angular. So before we begin, I have a few questions. So how many of you have heard about internationalization? Okay, that's good. But how many of you actually worked on it? Okay, still quite a few. Okay, great. But still, I promise that there's still new for everyone to learn. Okay. So let's suppose you have a business and it's about a personal chef ordering service. You operate in US and your target audience speaks English. Your developers have crafted this great application. It's filled with features, cool design, and top-notch performance. But here's the catch. What if you want to expand, you want to outreach US, you want to go global? With English, I guess you won't be able to go global because everyone does not speak English. Let's say you want to expand your market in UAE. In UAE, people have a different language, different cultures, and money is also different there. So, how do you ensure that your application speaks their language, both figuratively and literally? Here comes internationalization. It's a process of designing and developing an application that adapts to different languages, cultures, and regions. But in order to internationalize, you first need to localize. Localization is a process of building a version of your application for a particular locale, where a locale is a region where people speak a particular language. So we were talking about the locales. We had just said that a locale is a region where people speak a particular language. And here are some examples of standard locales. Just like in US, people speak English, right? It's their primary language. So that's their locale. Similarly, in UAE, people speak Arabic and that's their locale. And in Canada, primary language is still English, but vast majority also speaks French. So that's why we kept the example of this locale. Now let us move why internationalization is so crucial. So in order to cater a global audience, you need to expand your markets, and for that, internationalization is a must. You can't build your application in just a single language and single cultural settings. Second is user experience. With internationalization, we're not just building applications, we're building bridges between languages, cultures, and regions. And we're creating a user centric application. And that's not just all. We're building applications for everyone, no matter who they are, where are they from. And that brings a sense of inclusivity and belonging, and users feel connected, really connected with your applications. Now that's just talk, but we have a demo prepared for you. So that's Kitchen Gin, the same personal chef ordering platform that I was talking about. So here the application is currently localized in an English version. It has a regular search with which you can order where, when, and for how many guests you want to book a chef. Now let's explore the chef in the application. So here the listing of the chefs available. Now let me bring your attention to the OTIs. OTIs are basically opportunities to internationalize. So first we see that there is English language, right? Language will be internationalized. And apart from that, do you see the date formats here? The currency. Anything else that can be internationalized? Do you know we can even internationalize the alternative text of images, which helps specially abled. Now let me show you a localized version of this application in some another locale like French Canada. Now, did you notice something? The language is changed to French. The date formats have also changed, and the currencies too. I can't show you the alternative text because right now we are not using a screen reader, but that will work. Even the components as well. But that's not, but that's normal, right? What if I can show you the fascinating thing? Earlier we were talking about the UAE market, right? How we can cater the audience of UAE. So let me just switch to a localized version of UAE in Arabic. Here you see languages, date formats, and currencies have changed. But did you notice anything else? RTL, right? That's right. So the layout has shifted from left to right to left, and this is all handled by the Angular itself. But that will only happen if you have a correct markup, correct HTML markup. For example, developers have a habit of using position absolute for styling components, right? But if you are using those things, RTL will not be working perfectly. You have to work on it. So I think with this demo, you have a understanding of what internationalization is actually is, right? So let me show you how to actually do it. Whether you're a seasoned developer or just beginning with Angular, it's easy for you to. So build a process around that with which you can do it on your own. Angular has provided us a very powerful toolkit which does all the work behind the scenes, and it's called Angular Localize. You just have to install this package and do some configurations. With configurations, I meant initially you have identified some OTIs, right? Now it's time to mark them for extraction. Let's suppose you have a template and you have some text there. In templates, it's just that easy to mark a text. You just have to add a tag I18N and it's ready for extraction. And earlier we talked about alternative text of images, right? You can do that just by adding I18N hyphen the attribute name and it's ready for extraction. Similarly, in your component code, you can use localize function which accepts a template string literal, and that string is marked for extraction. Now comes the extraction phase. But before that, till now we just talked about the static data. What about the data coming from the servers like date and currencies? Did you know the pipe that we are using since we started using Angular has built-in IDN support? You don't have to do anything. You just have to add these pipes. This date pipe, currency pipe. All these convert your data into localized formats. You just have to configure your locales right. And now I guess we are ready for extraction. And it's just that easy to extract data. And we can do it multiple formats. The most widely used formats are XLF, which is nothing just a XML markup, and JSON of course, that we use and love. And these are some other formats that we can try. Now we have extracted the source files. For localization in some another locale, what we have to do is, we have to duplicate our files and rename them for each locale and start adding translations. After we're done with the translations, we have to do a small binding. If you can see here, this is our app. In this object, you just have to add another object, I18N. Configure the source locale. Let's suppose your source locale is English. So here it should be in US. And for the other locales you want to localize, you just need to add mappings. Mappings like the translation files, where the file is kept, and the base href with which it will be controlled. Now it's done. You just have to build your application with this flag localized. And it's just that easy. So that's all from my end. Thanks for your time. Bye bye.
Okay.